How did you handle the disappointment back then?
Well, first of all, I was discovered by a US talent scout just after the flop in Denmark. So it took a little while before because then I just moved to the US, and they overhyped me there. so I kept going. I was just in the beginning, I was just like, well, it's Denmark. They don't know shit, and now I'm gonna become a superstar in the US, and they'll all see that they were wrong when I come back, and. But by the end of the day, if after a year's time, I just I didn't feel well about anything. So then I just moved back and started all over, and that's where this journey sort of began.
How do you come back to yourself? Is that the journey inside yourself, or is that something that happens around you as well? Other people saying like, maybe.
Well, the good thing is, if there's something that I'm really proud of in my career, is that I've always only worked with people, with good people. You know, the closest circle of people around me are very good people that I trust, and I have a very good family and strong friendships as well. So if I ever lose myself in something, they'll always tell me where to go back to, and they helped me a lot back then. And also it was a journey within myself, but. Yeah.
How important is your girlfriend in that whole thing?
Well, she's very, very important. Of course, she's the closest person to me. So yeah, it gives me a lot to have someone who's just next to your heart, So, but it's tough. I miss her a lot.
Yeah. She's not joining you on tours, or?
Yeah, she is, but she has her own life as well, and she can't just live through me. So she has to do her own thing, and she's with me a lot of times. But still, we're away from each other a lot.
Does she live in London, or?
Well, we have a place in Copenhagen as well because she's studying there. So she comes back and forth, and we spend time both places.
Okay. Then in 2009, your self-titled album. Who was that guy that made that album?
I think it was the guy who. Sort of. I was definitely older at that time. I had seen a lot of things, and I was much more aware of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And through the time from the first album to the other album, I played a lot of shows around Europe. Just bought an old car and just went on the road and played in the streets, even here in Amsterdam. And from that, I sort of, I think that's where the artist actually find out who he is. It is on the road. It's not in a studio. It's not in an interview. It's not in a photo shoot or anything. It's on the road. So you could say that at that time I knew who I was, an artist, so that was the Mads Langer in that time, and the album at that time it's still a learning process. So the album was sort of, I needed to take off the layers and just do sort of a pure album with just based on the songs, but I still had a lot to learn about how to record your ideas. And I guess we're getting to the new album later on, but then we can talk about that. But I took off some layers on the second album, and and
so the people paying attention could see you actually play in the streets of Amsterdam and other big cities.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to do that? Just go there?
Well, because I came from big hotel rooms in the US, and that's not me. I'm a country boy from Skive, and I can definitely live with stardom and everything. It's part of what I do, but it's not what I am inside. So I just needed to get back to the roots, and I needed to get completely away from that side of the industry and just get back to to what I am. I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter, and that's why I do what I do. So I just had to go all the way in the complete opposite direction.
So it was a conscious decision to...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I started going back to Skive actually from New York and stayed there for quite a while, just to just breathe in and out. And then Then I bought that old Polo from '87, I think, and then I started driving around Europe. It was great.
Did the car hold out or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it broke down a lot of times, but that was part of the thing to find someone in Germany who could help me with that old shitty car. It was great, you know. It's because I never had that sort of thing that after high school a lot of people go to South America and go hiking there or something. I never did that. I went straight to the music industry and everything, so it was great for me to go on that journey